Hi there, I'm Emily D. Baker, and today we're going to be talking about some business essentials for creatives and creators that you might not have thought of. So we're going to get into it. This is going to be a quicker video for me. If you're not familiar with me, I am a licensed attorney, a legal commentator. I have worked with online business owners and creative entrepreneurs. And if you're a creator, you are an online business owner. Essentially, your platform just might happen to be YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, or others. So the stuff we're talking about today, not legal advice, but it's where to get started with your business. Let's jump into it. Hey there. If we haven't met yet, I'm Emily D. Baker, the badass lawyer and everyone's favorite legal commentator. I'm the host of The Emily Show, and I break down the legal shit behind the news and pop culture stories we all want to talk about. I have been a licensed attorney for over 15 years, but this is not legal advice. I should warn you, I'm a big fan of the cursey words. This channel is where the law nerds unite to talk about facts, not fuckery. Today, we're talking about the first two parts of making sure you are actually running your YouTube channel or your creative enterprise or where you're creating information and content as a legit business. Now, this framework will apply no matter where you are, but I am licensed in the US, so this is mostly US specific, though the framework and evaluation is the same. First, we're going to get through evaluating your business. Then we're going to talk about separating your business. And since this is a quick one today, those are the first two steps. If you want my worksheet, you can hit the link down below and download it. I created this for online entrepreneurs and creators like yourself so that you can walk yourself through what you need to know. So you can go ahead and hit that link. It's down in the description too, and download my walkthrough of this so you can start the self-evaluating process of your business, because evaluating where you're at is the most important part at the beginning. And that includes, where do you want to be? Do you want to be making money on your YouTube channel? Do you want to be getting brand deals? Do you want this to be a full-time thing? Or do you want this to be a side thing that is a passion project that pays for itself? Because once you start making money online, whether it's through AdSense or brand deals, or even brands gifting you product, there are some rules that you have to follow. Those include things like disclosure guidelines, hashtag sponsored or hashtag not sponsored or hashtag ad. You need to let people know if you're financially benefiting in your content, but you also need somewhere to put that money. Evaluating yourself as a business needs to take into account where you are today, where you want to be this year, and where you want to be in the next 3 to 5 years. Do you want to be making $10,000, $20,000, $100,000 a month in your content creation? Or do you want it to just pay for itself, $500, $1,000, $2,000 a month? Either way, it's fine. Either way, you have to plan for it as a business. Either way, you're going to have to pay taxes on the AdSense that you might not be accounting for. So evaluate today, this year, next 3 to 5 years. That will give you a really good framework to decide the next steps. Things like, is an LLC right for me? Do I need to incorporate? Can I bring on help for things that I do in my business? Is it time for a CPA or a bookkeeper? Probably. It's probably time. The company I love and use is linked down below. They're an online-based bookkeeping service, not sponsored, but I love them. Bench is fantastic. So when you evaluate your business, you have the information you need to start planning the next course in your business as you separate your business out from your personal. Yes, separate. You have to separate your money shit. You have to. You have to. Which means the money from YouTube should not be going into your bank account unless it's a business bank account. Yes, you need a business bank account. Venmo is not a business bank account. It's not. PayPal's generally not a business bank account either. Though, if you're going to use PayPal, get the business PayPal. Do not use a personal PayPal. Business PayPal. It's also not a bank. Did you know, lawyer side note, did you know that PayPal can freeze your assets for up to 6 months without explaining to you why under their terms of service? Mhm. If that was your bank account, how would you feel about that? If all of a sudden it was just like, you can't access any of your money. Not cute, especially if you're making a lot of money in your content and getting paid once a month. You need access to that money for, all of the other stuff. Get a business bank account, not just a separate personal bank account. Business bank account. Use an EIN. There's a link down below. You get it for free from the IRS. It's super easy to do. This allows you to put the EIN number, which is essentially the social security number for a business entity, on your brand deals, on your business bank account. So you're not splashing your social all over the internet for everybody. I mean, it might already be on the dark web, but what if it's not? You don't want to put it there. Get an EIN, free to do. You can have an EIN as a sole proprietor. You don't have to be an LLC or an incorporation to have an EIN. So you can say, hey, I'm not going to be making tons of money in the next few years, but I still want to do it right. So I'm going to separate my business money and I'm going to get my business bank account, my EIN, so that when I sign these big old brand deals, get it? You're not using your social security number. You're using your EIN. Then you can start putting money in that business bank account. But also, if you need to invest in your business, when you need to buy new equipment, who doesn't love buying new equipment? If you want to invest in your business and you're investing personal funds, it's easier to track if you take $500, $1,000, $200, put it from your personal bank account into your business bank account, and then spend it from there. Then when your business is making bank, your business can pay that loan back, and it's all easily tracked by your accountant. And that's important for tax purposes when you get to the next level rich people shit that you're going to have to deal with, because Biggie was right, more money, more problems. But they're good problems to have. They're good problems to have. And when you have the money, you can hire the people that can help you with the problems. So these are good things. But understanding the way money works is part of this separating out your personal bank accounts and your business bank accounts, even if you're just making a little bit of money, because the things you can do down the road become really, really cool once you've separated out those funds. Just by way of a quick explanation of the way money works in your personal life versus in your business. If you've been an employee before, and in the States, that's generally a W-2 employee, you go to work, you work for an employer, they pay you every month or every 2 weeks, and you see a bunch of stuff deducted out of it. Taxes are deducted, Social Security income's deducted, like all this stuff is taken out, and you'll see all those deductions and then the money that you get at the bottom. So all the money comes out first, and then you get what's left over. That's your take-home pay. If you are earning money through YouTube, you'll just get the money. Like nothing comes out of it first. So that means instead of having 20% taken out of every dollar, you have 0% taken out of every dollar. Those are business funds that can be used for business expenses before taxes come out. Because when you get the money as a business, then you spend on expenses, then you pay taxes. So when you have your money separated out, you can start to strategize what your expenses are in your business. And if you're running a creative business, your things like your phone, things like your camera equipment, your lighting equipment, your internet, the things that you use. Sometimes if you're a review channel, it's going to be the things you're reviewing. If you're a makeup channel, the makeup that you're using, those things can all be paid with in business funds. And the business fund is 100% of a dollar versus 60, 70, 80% of a dollar, depending on what your personal tax rate is. So your money will go further once it's separated out, and you can start using things as business expenses, not to be confused with the business deduction. Business deductions are when the government takes the money and then you're asking for it back. You're like, can I deduct that off my taxes and get it back? Business expenses mean the money hasn't even been taxed yet, and you use that money for legitimate business purposes. There's a lot of things in the US that count as legitimate business purposes, by the way, but you can't take advantage of that till you're separated. So if you're feeling like, yes, Emily, yes, I am going to get my EIN and get my business bank account, let me know down in the comments below that you are getting it done. You can do this at your local branch. You can do this online. You can then get your business PayPal account if you want payment from brand deals and stuff to go into PayPal. There's nothing wrong with that. Just don't confuse it with a bank account. It's the same with using, what I say, Venmo's not a bank account. Until Venmo has business set up where you get actual reporting, don't take money for your business through Venmo or Cash App. No. PayPal Business is going to be the easiest way to do that. So at least then there is adequate reporting and you're not going to get dinged by the IRS later. Yes, you may have to pay taxes on what you earn, but if you strategize your expenses, remember, you pay on what's left over. So you can start to work within your legitimate business expenses to limit that. Once you have those things set up, it makes it a lot easier to expand into other forms of income. If you're going to have a merch shop, if you're going to sell digital products or physical products, it's a lot easier to then go get a Stripe account for payment processing, set up your Shopify shop, because now it's all under your EIN. It's all under your business entity. And it's a lot easier to use that money to continue to build your business. And you don't have to worry about getting the proper reporting and paying the proper taxes and it coming back years later and you going, oopsie, sorry about that. Because the IRS will, charge you fees and fines and interest and all that stuff that you don't want to have to deal with. Also, it's okay to pay taxes. It means you're making more money and there's nothing wrong with that. So don't be so worried about that part of it. When you start getting paid from YouTube, put the money aside for taxes into a separate place in your, bank account. I have a savings account attached to my business bank account and I dump 30% in there. I never end up using that much for taxes for my business. And then you kind of get a year-end bonus after you've paid your taxes and you have money sitting there to reinvest in your business or to pay yourself as the business owner. The next thing you really need to be mindful of as a creative and as a creator is contracts. Now, this isn't a whole breakdown on how to read contracts, but know that if you are getting into brand deals and other types of contracts regarding your content, make sure you read them and that you have someone who can help give you some guidance on the key provisions of those contracts to look out for. Things like who owns the rights to the content you create for a brand? Do you own it? Do they own it? When can a brand not pay you? Can a brand sever ties with you? And what does that look like? So you want to start looking for these aspects of a contract to know for sure who owns that content, if they cannot pay you and sever ties with you, what the payment terms are. I know you're like, Emily, you had a list and now you're throwing in another one. Some brands will have a plus 90 payment term. That means 90 days after you deliver the thing, they pay you. Emily doesn't like a plus 90. No, we don't. I don't even like a plus 45, to be perfectly honest. But look at the contract and know those things. And if a brand's like, hey, if I send you this, will you do a video? That's not a contract. Have an agreement so that the expectations are clear. It's going to protect you and the brand you're working with in the long run. I hope that this was helpful today. If you want to see more creator and creative centered content, please let me know in the description down below. And this video is going to link you to my girl Tech Valor, who's got some amazing content for you. So go check it out. Connect with me everywhere. I'm at the Emily D. Baker. If you guys want to join the text, just text Emily.com. If you want to join the channel, lawnerdsunite.com. Happy to have you. Support what we do here on the YouTube